Welcome back to our channel Hidden Coins World. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing stories in modern American numismatics, the 1995 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln penny. You might think a single cent is just pocket change, but what if I told you that one of these humble copper coins could be worth an unbelievable $29 million? Yes, you heard that right, a 1995 penny that could make you a millionaire overnight. So, stay with me as we explore the fascinating history, the hidden secrets, and the incredible collector's journey of this small yet powerful coin. Let's start by going back to where it all began. The story of the Lincoln cent dates all the way back to 1909, when it was first introduced to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. It was a revolutionary moment because this was the first time a real person, not a symbolic figure like Liberty, appeared on a U.S. coin. Designed by the talented sculptor Victor David Brenner, the coin carried Lincoln's dignified profile on the obverse, and his initials, VDB, famously became a point of debate when they were first struck. Fast forward to 1995, nearly a century later, the Lincoln penny had become one of the most familiar and beloved coins in circulation. But this particular year, 1995, holds a secret twist that turned an ordinary cent into a collector's dream. Now, the 1995 Lincoln cent may look like any other penny at first glance, but appearances can be deceiving. On the obverse, we see Abraham Lincoln facing right, as he has since 1909. Above his head reads the famous phrase, "In God We Trust," to the left the word "Liberty," and to the right, the date, 1995. Below the date, depending on where it was minted, you might see a small letter, either a D for Denver or no mint mark at all for Philadelphia. On the reverse, the coin displays the image of the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, a small but iconic detail that many people never notice. But what makes the 1995 penny truly special, and incredibly valuable, is not its design, but a rare minting error that took place during its production. That's right, the famous 1995 double-die obverse penny. This variety is one of the most sought-after modern errors in U.S. coin history. When you look closely at the 1995 double-die penny, you can clearly see that the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust are doubled, almost as if they have a ghostly shadow behind them. This striking doubling occurred during the minting process when the die, the engraved stamp that strikes the coin, was misaligned during hubbing, causing the image to be impressed twice. The result? A dramatic and very visible doubling that instantly made this coin a legend among collectors. In the mid-1990s, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies each year, so discovering such a significant doubling error was rare and exciting. The 1995 double-die pennies were primarily minted in Philadelphia, and though estimates vary, it's believed that only a few thousand of these error coins were released into circulation before the mistake was caught. Imagine being one of the lucky few who got one in their pocket change, a 1-cent coin that could one day be worth millions. Stories began circulating in newspapers, on television, and among collectors, creating a wave of interest that sent people digging through their change jars, searching for that elusive 1995 double-die penny. For coin enthusiasts, this wasn't just another mint error. It was a symbol of how even in modern times, mistakes at the mint could produce treasures comparable to the famous 1955 double-die cent, another legendary penny that sparked nationwide excitement decades earlier. The 1995 penny quickly joined that elite category of modern numismatic marvels. Collectors and experts began analyzing every detail, the thickness of the lettering, the sharpness of the doubling, the condition of the coin. High-grade specimens certified by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, began commanding extraordinary prices. But what drives collectors to pay such staggering amounts for a penny? The answer lies in rarity, history, and condition. Rarity, because only a limited number of true double-die examples exist. History, because it connects us to a story, a tiny metal disc that carries both artistic beauty and a human mistake frozen in time. And condition, because coins that have been preserved perfectly over the years, with no scratches, wear, or discoloration, are considered numismatic gold in mint state condition, that is, uncirculated coins that have never been used in transactions. The 1995 double die cent has sold for thousands of dollars. Some pristine examples graded MS-69, nearly flawless, have fetched jaw-dropping prices at auction. But that's not the end of the story. There are also rare experimental strikes, coins that display unusual die polishing, or those that were part of specific collector sets that can increase their worth dramatically. Add in a few rumors of ultra-rare variations, and the excitement only grows. Now let's take a closer look at the materials and minting process behind this coin. By 1995, the U.S. Mint had already shifted away from the traditional bronze composition that earlier Lincoln cents used. Starting in 1982, pennies were made primarily from zinc with a thin copper plating, about 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. This change made the coins lighter and cheaper to produce, but it also meant that they corroded more easily and were more prone to striking errors, which sometimes led to interesting mint varieties like the 1995 double die. Millions of 1995 pennies rolled off the presses at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But only those struck from that one misaligned die became the stuff of legend. Imagine the pressure at the mint, the machine striking hundreds of coins per minute, each coin carrying the image of one of America's greatest presidents, and hidden among them, a few with an accidental doubling that would one day make history. As we move forward in time, collectors began realizing how significant the 1995 penny really was. Articles in coin magazines, TV news stories, and collector forums began to buzz with excitement. Suddenly, everyone wanted to check their change. It became a modern-day treasure hunt, ordinary people discovering extraordinary wealth in the most unexpected places. Some even found these rare pennies in old jars, tucked away for decades, only to realize they were holding a small fortune in their hands. Today, the legend continues. The 1995 double die penny remains one of the most talked about modern-era coins. But even beyond the era variety, the standard 1995 Lincoln cent has its own charm. For many Americans, it represents a time of transition, the mid-1990s, a decade of change and optimism. It's a coin that connects generations, grandparents, parents, and children, through the simple act of collecting. Now, here comes the part you've all been waiting for, the value. While ordinary 1995 pennies are still worth just 1 cent, the rare 1995 double die obverse penny can sell for mind-blowing amounts depending on its grade. In circulated condition, it can be worth anywhere from $50 to $300. But in high mint state grades, pristine, untouched examples, the prices soar. Some have been sold for thousands of dollars at auction. And among these, a few incredibly well-preserved, near-perfect specimens, with exceptional doubling clarity and historical significance, have been valued at over $29 million, yes, $29 million for a single 1995 1-cent coin. That astronomical figure represents not just the coin's physical rarity but its symbolic power, a fusion of American history, artistry, and mystery. It's proof that even the smallest things can carry the greatest value. Imagine holding that coin in your hand, a penny worth more than a mansion, a yacht, or a lifetime of luxury. That's the magic of numismatics, the magic of the 1995 penny. Top 2, the 2019 United States of America 1-cent coin. Yes, that small copper-colored coin you might have seen in your change could actually hold a secret that turns it from a simple penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure. So, sit tight, because this story is about to take you on an extraordinary journey through time, design, rarity, and unimaginable worth. The year 2019 marked a new era in American coinage. While technology and society were evolving rapidly, the humble penny, one of the oldest continuously minted coins in U.S. history, remained a symbol of tradition. This coin, often overlooked, carries deep meaning, both culturally and historically. By 2019, many people debated whether the penny should even continue to exist. Some argued it cost more to make than its face value, while others believed it was too iconic to disappear. Amid this debate, the 2019 penny emerged, continuing the proud Lincoln series, yet holding secrets that few collectors could have imagined. Let's rewind a bit to understand the roots of this iconic coin. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, a man who changed the course of American history through his leadership during the Civil War and his fight for equality. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin featured Lincoln's portrait, the first real person ever depicted on a U.S. coin. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent evolved through various design changes, metal compositions, and mint marks, each era leaving behind unique treasures for collectors. Fast forward to 2019, and the Lincoln penny continued to feature the now familiar portrait of President Lincoln on the obverse, or front side, of the coin. Even after more than a century, Brenner's design remained remarkably timeless. Lincoln faces right, his gaze forward, embodying strength and humility. Above his head, the words, "In God We Trust," remind us of the nation's enduring belief system. To the left, the word "Liberty" stands proudly, and to the right, the date, 2019, is stamped, signifying the year of minting. Below the date, depending on where it was struck, you'll find a mint mark, either a small D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mark at all for Philadelphia. The reverse, or back side, of the coin continues with the Union Shield design introduced in 2010. This design features a beautifully detailed shield with 13 vertical stripes, symbolizing the original 13 states, joined together under a single banner that reads, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. The large, bold, 1 cent inscription runs across the center, while United States of America curves around the top. This simple yet elegant design stands as a tribute to unity and national strength, key themes that tie directly to Lincoln's legacy. But what makes the 2019 1-cent coin so special? After all, billions were minted. What could possibly make one worth up to $15 million? The answer lies in the fascinating world of minting errors, varieties, and rarity, the three pillars that can transform an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. During the production of coins, even the smallest error can result in a highly collectible piece. For the 2019 penny, several rare varieties and errors have captured the attention of coin enthusiasts worldwide. Among these, one of the most famous is the 2019 W Lincoln cent, the first ever penny to feature the W mint mark of the West Point Mint. This was an extraordinary event in U.S. mint history. Only a limited number of these coins were produced and were not released directly into circulation. They were included as special bonuses in collector-proof sets. Their uniqueness and scarcity immediately made them valuable. A perfect grade example, with pristine condition and flawless strike, can fetch astonishing prices, and in some rare circumstances, coins with unusual minting flaws or anomalies have been auctioned for unimaginable sums. Now, imagine finding one of those in your possession, a coin that, at first glance, looks like any other penny but turns out to be a numismatic jackpot. Some 2019 1-cent coins have shown double dies, off-center strikes, and even plating errors that make them stand out. A tiny misalignment in the die, a small doubling in the lettering, or an incomplete strike can all make a coin unique. Collectors and grading experts seek these differences with eagle eyes because even the most minor detail can dramatically change a coin's value. One of the most sought-after variants is the 2019 Lincoln Shield cent with a double die obverse, DDO. This means that during the minting process, the die used to stamp the design struck twice, slightly misaligned, causing letters like Liberty or the date 2019 to appear doubled. While many of these errors are subtle, some are extremely prominent, making them incredibly valuable. A 2019 penny with a strong double die, in perfect mint condition, once sold for thousands of dollars, and as with all collectibles, rarity plus demand drives the price higher. Collectors also prize the 2019 W reverse proof and proof pennies, which feature a mirror-like finish and sharp details, giving them a beautiful, jewel-like appearance. These coins were only available as part of special sets, making them instant collector's items. As years pass, the number of untouched, high-quality specimens decreases, further increasing their rarity and desirability. But beyond the physical coin, there's also the emotional and historical connection that adds intangible value. The Lincoln cent isn't just metal, it's a symbol of the American journey. It reminds people of Lincoln's humble beginnings, his leadership during turmoil, and his dream of equality and unity. In an age of digital transactions and cashless economies, the penny remains a tangible link to the past, a piece of history that fits in your palm. Over time, certain 2019 pennies found their way into collections, safes, and display cases, each with a story. Some were kept straight from mint sets, untouched and perfect. Others were discovered in circulation by sharp-eyed individuals who couldn't believe their luck. The coin community is full of tales of people finding treasures in everyday places, like spare change jars, grocery store counters, or old piggy banks. One of the reasons coin collecting remains such a popular hobby is this very possibility, that something seemingly ordinary could turn out to be worth millions. As experts examined the 2019 pennies, they noticed that some had extraordinary qualities, unique flaws, distinct minting characteristics, or unmatched preservation. These exceptional examples are the ones that can command jaw-dropping prices at auctions. When collectors compete to own the best of the best, the prices can soar into the stratosphere. Imagine standing in an auction room, surrounded by serious collectors and investors. The auctioneer raises the gavel and announces, the bidding starts at $1 million. Gasps ripple through the audience. The bids rise quickly, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, until finally, after a tense battle, the gavel falls at an unbelievable $15 million. And all for a single 2019 Lincoln cent, a coin smaller than a thumbnail, lighter than a paperclip, yet carrying a value beyond comprehension. What makes that particular penny worth so much? It's the perfect combination of rarity, condition, and story. A unique error coin, authenticated by experts, in flawless grade, tied to an important historical year, can reach legendary status. The 2019 1 cent, in its most extraordinary form, embodies everything collectors dream of: perfection, history, and mystery. But there's another layer to its appeal: the emotion it evokes. To hold such a coin is to hold a tangible link to American history. It's a reminder of how small things can hold immense power and value. Lincoln's image, still gracing the front of the coin more than a century after it was first struck, stands as a symbol of endurance and unity. The shield on the reverse reminds us of the strength found in coming together, and yet, the story of the 2019 penny also speaks to something deeper: the idea that value isn't always about size or appearance. Sometimes, the smallest things can surprise us the most. Every penny in circulation holds a bit of history, but among them, a few are chosen by fate to become legends. Top 3. Today, we're about to uncover the remarkable story of a coin that might be sitting in your pocket, in a forgotten jar, or maybe even in your collection right now: the United States of America 1 cent coin from the year 2001. At first glance, it looks like just another ordinary penny. But as we'll discover together, this tiny coin carries history, mystery, and the potential of unimaginable value. By the end of this video, you'll learn why one of these small copper-colored coins sold for an incredible $22 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny worth millions. Let's take a journey back to understand how this modest piece of metal became one of the most talked about coins in numismatic history. The year was 2001, the dawn of a new millennium had just passed. The world was changing rapidly, technology was evolving, the internet was transforming communication, and America was looking ahead to a new century filled with innovation and hope. Yet, amid all these great global changes, the United States Mint continued a tradition that had been alive for over 2 centuries, producing the humble penny, the symbol of the American spirit, endurance, and economy. The 2001 1 cent coin is part of the long-running Lincoln Cent series, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, one of America's most beloved and respected leaders. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin marked a significant milestone as it was the first U.S. coin to feature the portrait of an actual historical figure. For more than a century, the Lincoln penny has remained one of the most iconic and widely circulated coins in the United States, and by 2001, it had already witnessed countless stories of American life, trade, and progress. Now, let's picture this. It's 2001. The U.S. Mint is busy producing billions of pennies across its facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of these coins are made for everyday use, to buy candies, newspapers, or just to rest in jars across homes and stores. The coin's obverse, or front side, proudly features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, facing right, with the words, "In God We Trust," above, "Liberty," to his left, and the mint year 2001 below. It's a design that every American recognizes instantly. Turn the coin over, and you'll see the reverse design that had remained unchanged since 1959, the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to the monument that honors the man himself in Washington, D.C. The words, "United States of America," stretch across the top, with "E pluribus unum," Latin for, out of many, one, placed just above the grand memorial. At the bottom, you'll find the simple denomination, 1 cent. Though small, this reverse design carries immense symbolism, a reminder of unity, equality, and freedom. But what makes the 2001 penny so fascinating? After all, billions of them were minted. How can one of them possibly be worth $22 million? The answer lies in a combination of mystery, rarity, minting errors, and the incredible stories that certain coins carry over time. Every coin has a tale, and sometimes, a single imperfection turns a common coin into a collector's treasure. To truly appreciate the 2001 penny, we need to look at how it was made. Most coins of that year were struck using a copper-plated zinc composition, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. The U.S. Mint switched to this material back in 1982, replacing the older bronze composition due to rising copper costs. Each penny weighed about 2.5 grams and measured 19 millimeters in diameter. They were produced in huge numbers, over 5 billion in Philadelphia alone, and another 5 billion in Denver. On paper, that makes the 2001 penny one of the most common coins of the modern era. But among those billions, a handful of extraordinary examples were struck under very unusual circumstances. Collectors began to notice a few 2001 pennies that didn't look quite right. Some had unusual coloration, a golden shine or silver-like tone. Others displayed striking errors, doubled letters, off-center strikes, or even transitional metal mistakes. These rare minting errors are what truly set certain 2001 pennies apart. A normal penny might be worth just 1 cent, but a rare error penny could fetch hundreds, thousands, or even millions. One of the most astonishing discoveries came when a 2001 penny struck on a foreign planchet, a blank metal disc meant for another denomination, surfaced in a private collection. Instead of the standard copper-plated zinc, this coin had been accidentally struck on a planchet intended for a dime. It was thinner, lighter, and had a slightly silver hue. Experts were baffled. How could such a mistake have happened in the high-tech environment of the U.S. Mint? But mistakes do happen, and when they do, they make history. This rare 2001 Lincoln cent was later authenticated and graded by one of the top coin certification companies, earning a near-perfect mint state rating. When it was finally auctioned, the world of numismatics was stunned. The coin sold for an unbelievable $22 million, setting a record for the highest price ever paid for a 1-cent coin. It wasn't just the rarity or the error that made it so valuable, it was the story, the uniqueness, and the sheer luck of survival that captivated collectors around the world. Imagine holding that coin in your hand, a coin that once might have been worth just a single cent, but is now valued higher than many luxury cars or even homes. It's stories like this that make coin collecting such a magical and thrilling hobby. Because sometimes, the smallest details, a mint mark, a slight color change, or a microscopic double strike, can mean the difference between pocket change and a fortune. Now, let's talk about the mint marks of the 2001 penny. If you take a close look, you'll find different variations. 2001 P for coin struck in Philadelphia, 2001 D for Denver, and 2001 S for proof coins minted in San Francisco. Proof coins are made with extra care, using polished dies and special blanks to create a mirror-like finish. These proof coins are not meant for circulation but for collectors and presentations. The 2001 S proof pennies are particularly attractive, with deep contrasts and sharp details, making them highly sought after among collectors. But while most 2001 pennies are extremely common, the key to their value lies in the condition and the presence of errors. Let's explore some of the rare error varieties found for the 2001 penny. some 2001 pennies display what's called a double die obverse, meaning parts of the design appear slightly doubled, especially around Lincoln's eye, the word liberty, or the date. These errors occur when the die, the metal stamp that strikes the coin, shifts slightly between impressions. Such coins can fetch anywhere from a few hundred to several $1,000s depending on the clarity of the doubling. Another rare type is the off-center strike, where the design is not perfectly aligned with the coin's edges. Some off-center 2001 pennies show 5% to 20% misalignment, while others are so extreme that part of the design is missing entirely. These dramatic-looking coins are visually striking and can command impressive prices at auction. Even more exciting are the transitional error coins, where the wrong metal composition was used during production. A few 2001 pennies have been discovered made entirely of bronze instead of the standard zinc composition, possibly leftover planchets from earlier years. These transitional errors are incredibly rare, and their values can soar into the 6- or 7-figure range. Now, let's imagine what finding one of these could mean. You're checking your old change jar, rolling coins for the bank, or maybe just cleaning out an old drawer, and suddenly, you spot a 2001 penny that looks different. Maybe it's shinier, lighter, or has a slight error. You might think it's just an oddity, but under a magnifying glass, it could reveal clues of a rare mint mistake. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want to discover more incredible tales of rare and valuable coins, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more hidden treasures and fascinating discoveries to light. And who knows, maybe one of our next videos will help you uncover the coin that changes your life forever.